Love and greetings to you. Welcome to the Marriage Foundation. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Been doing this for over 22 years, and I used to be a divorce mediator, so I've seen it all. And I've seen a lot of infidelity. That's what the topic is today. It's how to avoid infidelity in marriage. And I can take this apart and go into the nuances of what is infidelity. Is it watching porn? Is it having an emotional affair? Is it spending too much time? But we all know what the real question is, and that is along the lines of my husband is cheating on me. Rarely my wife is cheating on me. I think my husband is cheating on me. What should I do? Because I don't want him to be that kind of husband. And I don't know if I want to stay in this marriage if he's going to be that kind of husband. And that's very understandable. And that's the problem that you're really coming to us with at the Marriage Foundation. And that's the one I'm going to address. Now, some of you may have a different issue, but I think this is probably, from my experience, this is hitting the nail on the head. So you got to ask, first of all, is it my husband's fault? Is it a problem that he has, that he can't keep it in his pants and stay loyal to me? And the answer is yes. Does that mean that there's nothing I can do? And the answer is no. There is a lot you can do. Does it mean we're heading towards the end of our marriage? Because I don't know if I could live with him if I discovered he was having an affair. And the answer to that is your decision, but bear in mind that by the time a husband, I'm not excusing him, don't misunderstand me on this. I'm going down a particular track. It's not a detour, it's an important track, but it's not a track where I'm excusing him, but I'm explaining to you why, even though he is messing up, cut him some slack, have some understanding. Because uppermost in your priorities should be recreating your marriage so that there's no way he will cheat on you. Recreating the dynamic of your marriage so that it is delivering the things that both of you got married for. You both got married for happiness. You found each other. You found your soulmate. He found you. You want happiness. That's number one. That's the natural drive that all of us have, is for happiness, because it comes from the soul. The soul is pure joy. The second thing we want is the first thing that we want, which is love, because it's that love, that immortal love, that unconditional love, that brings us happiness, that is never ending. It's always expanding. You know, because we live in a material world, we think that there is some limit to love. It's a subconscious belief, maybe a conscious belief, but there is no limit to love. Love, by its very nature, is infinite. We cannot comprehend it because we can't experience it, because we've become aligned with our mind. I know that sounds a little complicated, maybe esoteric, and I'm going to explain this. Sounds like I have a lot to explain now. I didn't start out with all of this. I hope you're a subscriber, by the way. Now's a good time to subscribe. So I am going to go back to cutting him some slack and explaining that. But let's talk about this love stuff, because it is the right goal for us to have in our marriage. Love, happiness, and harmony. It should be our expectation. And we have the capacity to create it as an individual, we could recreate the dynamic in our marriage so that both of you are benefiting from the effort you put into it. Yeah. In fact, our courses, we have a course for men and a course for women, and this is not a sales pitch, but when you take the course for women, it's all about learning how to love your husband unconditionally and let that dynamic lead the way, rather than say, honey, I found this course and you need to take the men's course. Don't ever do that. We don't want our clients to do that. Just, this is for you. So what's going on with your mind? And I'm going to just lay it out. And I hope you grasp this. Well, let me use an illustration. Let me use the illustration of when you see your kids sleeping and your heart just opens up. You know what I'm talking about. Or when you've been to a wedding and there's this moment when your heart just opens up. And if you think back, you can do this right now. If you think back, when your heart opened up, your mind closed it, didn't want to go there. Because the mind is not us. It is a tool that has taken us over because we don't know. We haven't learned these things. It's not the thing that they teach us when we go to high school or elementary school. They teach us how to do math or other useless things. They're not useless, I'm joking. But we don't learn about ourselves. We don't learn that we're the soul. This is not religious. We don't learn that we are the soul and that we have a mind and we have a body. We don't learn that. We just assume, yeah, this is me. Well, what is that? This is me. This is me is that you're a soul who possesses a body and possesses a mind. And when you learn about how they interact together, you understand what I'm trying to tell you here is that the mind cannot comprehend love, because love is all there is. But the mind is a machine. So the mind can't comprehend it. If you're over-identified with the mind, then you go, well, I guess I don't know what love is either. But we feel it. We do know what love is. It's the only true reality, actually. But because we're not taught that, we don't know where to look. And it's right there. It's right there. Your soulmate. You and your soulmate are meant to experience this love together by opening your hearts. That should be like your number one mission in your marriage, is to open up your heart to your husband. Not as a reciprocation. You don't say, honey, if you do this, I'll do this. No, you just do it. And when you do that, he won't be tempted by anything outside of your marriage. And if he is now, you discovered somehow he's got messages on his phone or whatever. There's so many ways that wives discover their husband because they can't hide it forever. Look at what he's up against. He got married in order to have happiness, love, and harmony. Would you describe your marriage that way? Certainly not. Let's be honest. Let's be real. And I'm not blaming you, but he can't describe his marriage that way. But the soul yearns for these things, craves for these things. But then the mind jumps in and says, well, you're not getting it here, you'll get it somewhere else. That's how it works. And so he goes, no, that's immoral. And then he watches television, watches movies, reads the newspaper, sees things online. It's common now. Infidelity is common. It's nearly at a place of acceptance. So the temptation is reinforced by the environment. Is it right? Is it okay? It isn't. It's not. It's immoral. We know that. And it's high level of immorality, and he'll pay for it. Karma's real. But you don't want that. In fact, you want to love him so much that you're praying to God, please don't let my husband be punished by his misdeeds. That's unconditional love. That's what he married you for. And that's what you do. That's what you do. So you want to avoid infidelity in your marriage? That's how. Now, is it as simple as that? Yeah, but when I first started helping people with their marriages, I got to the simplicity, and I just spelled it out to you. Love, happiness, harmony. But it's easier said than done. And that's why we have these videos online. Subscribe so you can listen to them, start getting a feel for what marriage is supposed to be. It's so positive. It's so unfortunate that the world doesn't see marriage for what it is. You know, we're going to spread. The Marriage Foundation is going to grow and grow. We're getting close to 60,000 subscribers. Maybe by the time you watch this, it's up to 100,000. It's going to keep growing because this message is pure. This message is correct. And so as it does spread and people start living their marriages the right way, the benefits will be what they are meant to be. Everyone's going to be happy. That's going to spread. I'm not saying we're going to change the world, but we're going to contribute to that. Politics doesn't change the world. It's the people who grow and evolve individually. We change the world as individuals. And that's what we're doing at the Marriage Foundation. We're trying to change the world. One person, one marriage at a time. That's what we're trying to do. And by the way, if you're already a marriage counselor, please take our training. If you're clergy, please take our training. Learn how we communicate with people to get their eyes opened, how we move them into the right direction. Because this is the future for joy in the world. All right, I hope this was helpful to you. I hope I got the messaging right. If not, you could write to our counselors. It's a free service. And ask them any question that you have on your mind. And they'll respond. Just go to our website. It's themarriagefoundation.org. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded it. I am glad you visited, and I hope we'll see you again. God bless you. Take care.